Hello fellow 3D enthusiast, my name is Ian, and today I wanted to share with you how you can create this wild looking dark portal effect in Blender. And these techniques that I'm about to share with you can be applied in so many creative ways, so definitely experiment with them and use them for things that aren't just dark portals. But hey, let's get into it. Alright, so to start out here, what we're going to want to do is get rid of this, don't need it. X and delete. And if we go Shift A and add in a circle, this is going to be the base of our portal. What we might want to do, actually, before we start going crazy here, is add a few more vertices to this. So I'm just going to go 64. There we go. Now it's nice and smooth. And let's just hop into edit mode and start shaping this a little bit. What I'm going to start by doing is going E and then right clicking to keep that in the same position, then going S. And I'm just going to scale this up a little bit. And going into edge select mode, you can use 2 or you can use this button up here. I'm going to select an edge and go Control E and mark seam, which is down there. And if we select everything and go U, unwrap, then it's unwrapped. Let's just hop over to UV editing here. Now, as you can see, we've UV unwrapped this and it's in a big circle, and we'd like this to be kind of flat. So what I'm going to do is go up here to edge select mode in the UV editor, select one of these edges of this face down here, and I'm just going to go S, X, and 0. And I'm going to do that with the other one here, S, X, 0. And we can also do that with the top ones just to make sure it's a perfect rectangle here. So S, Y, and 0. S, Y, 0. Okay, everything else is a little bit messed up. Let's go into face select mode here, select this down here, and then select everything with A. And I'm going to look up, let's see, follow active quads is what we want. Let's hit OK, and then everything will line up with that one face there. And now, if we just go Control and Spacebar, that will maximize our UV editor. Let's just grab this and scale it about so that it kind of fits the square here. Let's select everything with A, and then S, X, and then just squeeze it onto this little square we got here. Now if you want to be a bit more precise with this, once you get it to the edge, you can go Shift and right click, and that'll drop in the 3D cursor. And if we go over to the other edge, you can see it's not quite on there. So if we go up here and scale around the 2D cursor, now when we go S and X, that will just do one side, and this side is good here. So we can scooch that over, S, X. Let's just make sure it's right along the edge. Okay. Now our UV map is looking pretty good. Let's add in a material for this thing. If we go down here and split a window, you can just grab that, drag it up. Let's go to the shader editor, and we can actually kind of scoot over our UV map for now. We might come back to that in a minute, but let's go ahead and hit new here for the material. And we can use our principled shader here. That'll work pretty well for us. And I'm going to add in a seamless looping smoke texture. I'll make sure I link to my tutorial for that. But let's just go Shift A. I'm going to go down to Texture and Image Texture. Alright, this here is what we want. I'm going to go A to select everything, and let's just go Open Image. And immediately, let's check Cyclic and Auto Refresh so that this plays back well. And let's drag the color and drop it right into the alpha of this principled BSDF. And another thing we can do on this node is just drop the base color to be black, because this is a shadow gate. Of course, you can use an emission shader if you want to have a light gate thing. But right now we're just doing a shadow gate, so it's going to be completely black. And if we turn down the specular, that'll help with that. And if we tab into object mode and then go Z and rendered, you can see nothing really is going on right here. So let's switch up the material here. If we go to the material properties and go down to blend mode, switch this to alpha blend. And just a quick note here, I'm using Eevee, and that's why you have to go into the material and specifically tell it what kind of alpha to use. And right now, this isn't very exciting. Let's drag the alpha in and see if that changes anything. Yeah, we got a little bit more around the edges here. And if we go Shift A and add in a converter and color ramp, we can actually make the contrast of this a bit heavier. So if we turn up the white values a little bit and take another look, you can start to see, if we play back the animation, this is looking pretty interesting. Right now, it kind of looks a little bit like a puddle or something. I think this is actually a pretty cool effect for the inside of our shadow portal. So let's keep this here. I'm going to take the mesh and go Shift D and duplicate it, and we can add another element by going into edit mode, and I'm just going to go Shift Alt and select this inner ring here and scale it out so that the smoke is also going outwards. Now if we study the UV map of this first one here, we can actually see what effect this has if we go like this. So we don't want the edge of the ring visible, but we do want it to go pretty far into the center. So around here is probably good. Okay. Well, this is pretty interesting looking if we play it back. Let's grab the outer edge here with, once again, Shift and Alt, and just go G and Z and move it up in kind of like a cone shape. And we probably don't have to move it up too far, just because we haven't fixed the UV map for this one yet either. So let's grab this and move it down a little bit. Around about here is where we can get away with having it. Alright, so this is a pretty good effect. It's not ridiculously noticeable right now, but there are some very strange seams that we get here, and that's because the mesh is mainly made of these really long faces. Let's actually drop in a few faces here with Control R, and scrolling up, and now it's got some more mesh to work with, and things aren't so uneven. Now here, we can go right click and shade smooth. That smooths things out a little bit. We can also go Control 1, and that adds in a subdivision surface modifier. And things are really looking pretty smooth at this point. Now we certainly could just leave off here if we wanted. This is a pretty cool effect, and we've got a lot of nice control over it with the color ramp and this material and everything. If you want something really subtle, you can have the white all the way to the side. Or if you want something a little bit crazier, you can just really crank that up. But let's look at a few creative things that we can do to this, just to make it a little bit more interesting. Since we added in all this mesh detail in the big cone here, let's just put that to work by selecting the outer edge here, and going O to enable proportional editing, then go R and Z. And to turn up the effect of the proportional editing, you can scroll down, and we can get this crazy looking kind of spirally tornado effect. And if you look back in object mode and play that back, you can see the smoke goes out in a little bit of a spiral, which is super cool looking. We can also edit the inner one a little bit. I'm going to disable proportional editing with O and grab the middle edge and just move that down a little bit. And that's pretty cool looking. I kind of like the way that kind of feeds into it. Another thing we could do, since the outer ring is so big, let's actually scale this up a little bit. Now since we have a seamless texture here, and it's fitted right to the sides of the texture, we can't really see the seam here in the mesh, but if we take the UV map and start scaling that up along the x-axis, you can see that we run into a little bit of trouble. And if we scale this up by 2, it actually goes all the way back to the start of the image again, and we lose our seam. And we can get more resolution and still have it seamless. So let's go S, X, and 2 in the UV editor, and you can see this kind of spans 2 images long, so that's good. And we don't have our seam anymore, and we have a little bit more resolution, so that's cool. Okay, if you want a little bit more dramatic of an effect, we can take the background and turn that to a white, and that really contrasts nicely with the black. But I think that is where we're going to leave off for this week. Next week, I'll share how we can add this effect to some actual footage. But in the meantime, if you're interested in visual effects and you'd like to learn how to blend your 3D objects into live action footage, there's a link in the description that says 5 tips for seamlessly integrating your CG objects into live action footage. If you want to learn a little bit more on the subject, give that a click. But hey, I hope you have an excellent day, and I'll catch you again next week. Cheers!